Some good things are happening in Juanice Naguib's office on Frontier, and Adriana's leading that charge. So awesome to see what you guys are doing. The client is in love with you guys. You're getting some great results, so keep it up, Adriana. And obviously, as you guys are growing, you're in this situation and you ask a great question. How do I maintain my sales velocity? How do I maintain my standards while I'm training new people? I mean, there's two mouths to feed now. That's the challenge. I mean, so I've got to perform and I've got to get my people to perform. And there certainly can be a belief that if there's only so much production to go around and you got to divide it by two, well, gee, now we're getting portions of production. And so there is a way, in my opinion, there is a way to make sure that we're both winning. I've got to perform, my trainees got to perform. So that's really what this episode is all about. So my first point I want to make here, Adriana, is really what great training is not, okay? In other words, what does poor training look like? And in episode 31, I was talking about how we don't want to build, break and build somebody. We want to just build. It's all about protecting people's confidence, okay? So what I don't want to do is, okay, I'm the teacher, I'm the instructor, I'm the leader. I'm going to watch you. I'm going to judge you, and I'm going to criticize you. That's not what the new person wants to hear. I did not want my leaders over my shoulder like, okay, Jamie, batter up. It's your turn. Oh, man, here we go. I know I'm going to screw this up. I'd rather go screw this up alone with just me and the customer screwing it up. I don't necessarily need the leader over my shoulder. So that's not what great training is. I mean, you're not just sitting there to like, let me just tell you, let me write down the bullets of where I think you need improvement. That's not great training. Not to say that's what anybody's doing in your office. Just I think a lot of people might default to like, well, I got to spend a portion of my time watching my trainee pitch and letting them know where the correction is. Here's really what great training is. And I learned many, many moons ago about eagle training. Now, for this video, I thought, is this even true? I find myself questioning so many things now. Like, let me just go to YouTube and see if it's true. I couldn't find anything that supports what I learned. So this may or may not be true. I want to throw it out there. But I do find several motivational speakers out there using this story because I think there's some great lessons from this story. But apparently, I mean, we all know how birds, get their offspring to fly. I mean, I have in my mind, oh yeah, a little robin drops a little baby bird out of the nest, and listen, if it splats on the ground and a pussycat eats it, oh well, law of averages, let's try again. That was a weaker bird, obviously, so we gotta, get some stronger birds. But no, not the eagles, okay? That's not how the eagles roll. They don't play the law of averages game. Little eaglet goes on mama's back, and mama flies to some, high elevation and then rolls. And now little baby eaglet's falling out of the sky, but before it hits the ground, mama's there, gets it on its back, okay, does not let it hit the ground, flies back up to new heights, rolls, baby bird's fallen, and they do this over and over and over again until little eaglet knows how to fly. Again, whether it's true or not is not the point. The point is, this is how the kings of the sky, so to speak, this is how the eagles, okay, this is how they train their offspring. Are there lessons I can get from that in how I train my people? I don't want my people to fall to the ground where they have lost all confidence, they splat, I can't do this anymore, I quit, I'm out. I don't want that to happen. But I do want to let them fall. There is a point in time that they have to just do this on their own, and I want to be there to pick them up. So the system that I came up with, without really thinking much of it, I just had the eagles in mind, but it's really this. It's follow me, watch me, separate, repeat. Okay, so follow me. The reason you're following me is I'm competent. I know what I'm doing. I've been trained. You see the numbers. Okay, so follow me. Now watch me. In fact, when I say watch me, why don't you put the pitch in your hand and watch me pitch, and you can see that I'm following the script. You're like, holy cow, like he's just following the yellow brick road here. So that's what I mean by watch me. Like, watch me be systematic. Watch me be duplicatable. Okay, so that's the watching part. And then, okay, separate. You've seen enough. You've seen enough from me. You go your way, I'll go my way. If we're in retail, you're in that part of the store, I'm in this part of the store. Obviously, if the manager's allowing it, residential we can split up, B2B we can split up, but there is a time to separate. Now, we're going to keep doing this throughout the day. The question is how often, when I say repeat, how often are we repeating this? So I want to look at the body language of my trainee, and if the body language is good, okay, chin is up, they're like, all right, mate, James, where are we going next? Okay, energy's good, your attitude's good, excuse me. All this person needs is more customers, more repetitions. So, hey, we don't have to repeat again. We can keep separating. I want to constantly meet up and check up, a little, check up from the neck up kind of thing. But if the body language is down, the energy's down, like, oh, I can just tell they're just not feeling it, let's get together. Follow me, watch me, we'll eventually split and repeat. So again, if the confidence and the energy is really good, we can meet up less often, or we can work together less often. The key is getting the repetitions in. If you think about this, if I'm on my own or if I'm training a new person, my repetitions will be the same. Because as they're following me, as they're watching me, I'm getting in repetitions. As we separate, I'm getting in my repetitions. So my production should be the same as it is from when I'm going on my own. Or I could make an argument to say my production's better, my personal production's better, because I feel the pressure to perform. I don't want to let my new person down, so I kind of feel the pressure to just really give it my best. Now I should have that mentality, obviously, even when I'm on my own, but I tend to see my production lift a bit when I'm training a new person. And they too do well because they're getting in the repetitions. Again, they're learning to fly on their own. They are falling from the sky. You're just making sure that they're not splatting on the ground. So that's what's happening. And so again, that's the challenge. I've got to do well. My trainees got to do well. There's got to be an increased production that's split, two ways. And so the key is the repetitions have to be there for both parties. I want you to put yourself in the shoes of a newer person, somebody that's learning, the student. So you're following a leader, you're watching the leader, then you're separating. Well, listen, when you're separating and you're falling on your face, and we all know that feeling, you're falling on your face, it's interesting, we keep hearing the same objection over and over again. So when we get back together and we're back in the follow mode, watch mode, now we're watching like a hawk. Okay, so how are you responding to that same objection I've just spent the last hour listening to? Oh, your words are a little bit different. Oh, maybe I should write that down. So you're really keying in on key phrases as you keep coming back, watching the pitch over and over again. Then you separate, you try that out. You're like, oh, hey, that's actually working. You come back together again. Again, I just find that people are watching a little more closely. The student mentality is a little bit sharper. So I think that's one of the value adds of working together, separating, coming back, and doing that several times throughout the day. My last train of thought is around timing. When is the time to work together? Okay, so are there times outside of the eaglet training and falling from the sky that you really want to get together in a team day sort of environment? And the answer, sure, there are plenty of times. If you find yourself ever getting stale or stagnant, or you're getting a case of jobitis, I've always looked at jobitis like, I'm going to work today because that's what I did yesterday, and I'm nowhere closer to the goal that I never even had in the first place. That's jobitis. And so if I'm ever feeling that way, I want to get together, leader to leader. Hey, let's go start the day off together. There's no doubt about it. The energy is always higher when there's two people. You've got good energy. You're having fun together. You're building rapport with customers together. Get those juices flowing. And once the juices are there, all right, let's separate and let's go get the repetitions. So I think that's perfectly fine to get together again, even with another leader, to really get that energy management happening. The other time I want to be really a stone's throw away from my new people. Again, we've separated, little eaglet, I've rolled and little eaglets on their own, learning how to fly. When the close happens, when little eaglet closes the deal, I want to be a text away, an emoji away, a phone call, the bat phone, you know, call Batman to come save the day. I want to be there for that close. I want to make sure that the paperwork is flawless. Okay, it's got to be perfect paperwork. And I want to make sure that the expectations are set properly with the customer. The worst thing would be that the new person's closing deals like, oh my goodness, you've closed 3 deals since we've last rolled. Like, let's see what's going on. Oh, well, this is wrong. These are all going to come back rejected, or the customer is disgruntled, or like, this wasn't as advertised. So I want to make sure that, again, everything is set up right, and then celebrate and do the first app dance, high five, whatever you want to do to celebrate those wins with the new people, building confidence again with the new people. I want to be together for those closes. Very important time to be with our new trainees. So I hope you found this useful. Adriana, Juanice, and team, you guys are doing a great job on Frontier. Keep up all the great work, and I'll talk to you guys soon.